All right, let's hit aloe. Aloe's fun. I grabbed the little one because it was easy to carry, and then I realized we needed to go a little bit further with this. How many have an aloe vera? Okay, this is something you should have. And people say, I use it for burns. You can use it for burns. You can use it for infection. You can use it for mosquito bites, insect bites. I use it for the connected dots that I get as I get older here. And I've been told by, anybody in here a dermatologist? No? Dermatologists are a very interesting breed of doctor. I think a dermatologist, you know how doctors say with their hand behind their back? It's because they have their fingers crossed. Okay? And I've never found a dermatologist yet I couldn't catch and slide him off base to where he didn't know what he was doing. And it's a crazy thing, but I had one tell me that I had to have all my skin removed from my head to get rid of these dots. And you can feel it's an eruption of sorts, but I've been treating my head to sunshine all my life, and I religiously wear a hat now, which I should have done when I was 18. And they want to take all the skin off my head. And I said, and how long will that last? First place, will there be pain with it? He said, well, it's not a comfortable procedure. And I said, how do you translate that into a level of pain? Is this a 10 out of 10 error? Is this a 2 out of 10? Well, no, it'll be uncomfortable for a while, but you'll be all right. I said, okay, after you do this to me, and I get this shiny new palette. What is this? Not a palette, it's a what? A pate? This shiny new pate. I said, how long will it last me? Well, you'll have it for a while. I said, no, let's just do this up front, Doc. Let's give me some real information. Will this last for 3 months? Oh, yes. Will it last for 6? Well, it'll last for quite a while. I said, well, I have to do twice a year to keep my pate all nice and clean? Probably. I said, so you tell me why I should do this when I can keep aloe on there? And if I do aloe twice a day, I don't have these things? And it doesn't hurt? And it's free? And it works really well? And I also use the aloe as an aftershave, a whole bunch of other things? I said, Doc, you're a charlatan. And I left. And as I walked out, I said, by the way, don't bother billing me for this particular meeting because you ain't going to get paid. Now, when you take an aloe off, if you'll do it carefully, you take the bottom leaf, and if you work it just right, it comes off sealed. I didn't do it just right. I broke the end on one side. But if it's really ready to come off, if it's a mature leaf, you can work it very gently, carefully, and it'll come off like this and be sealed. It won't leak out the ends. So then I have a very interesting, real heavy jar set on the back of the john, and I put it in here this way, and I put this thing in there, and I keep a paring knife in that jar. And in the morning, I use it as an aftershave, as I say. Also, I use it on my head. You can use this in so many ways, it's unbelievable. It takes other things in. Aloe is absorbed, so it actually goes into your body. And I take a knife, or a paring knife, and I usually end up doing something like this. I cut some of it off because it's too thin up here to really fool with. But then I cut it a cross section. Charlie, I'm going to mess your table up royally. Don't worry. And I'll cut it out, slice that. By the way, you all know that you wear pants when you garden so you can wipe your hands. All right? That's why you wear trousers or shorts or whatever. But how many of you knew that you wore socks so you could clean your knife blade? Put something in. All right, once you cut this thing like this, then I just take that, I open it up, and I rub it on my head. And if I do this twice a day, I really get rid of all this stuff. I got a couple that have been with me for a long time. I go on over here. That was one of the things he noticed. He said, well, you got to have that removed. I said, well, it's been with me 35 years. I think I'd miss it. So I got one on either eyebrow, and I rub it into there, and I rub it down here. And I also got one over here that I got from sunglasses. You know, when you're working out outside all day long, and you throw your sunglasses up on top of the dashboard. When you put them on, they're about 285 degrees. You know, so you always fry a little piece of your nose. Well, over the years, I got a really neat thing right in here, and I rub a little bit of that on there to get it right. And then if I have just shaved, I just take it and I rub it all in. Okay. Tastes terrible.
Anything for wrinkles?
What's that? Yes. Not only does it take away wrinkles, if you're consistent, you have to be consistent. You gotta
Every day
rub it
or
all the time.
every day.
And I don't, you know, people say, well, hell, if you rubbed yourself that much, you'd take the wrinkles away anyway. And it probably would. It probably would. It'll also take away varicose veins, spider veins. But you've got to be consistent. You've got to rub, and I actually did the experiment on this. I had them coming up behind my heel on both feet, so I only did 1 foot with the aloe. I get rid of them. Now I was 35 when I did it. I don't know if that how far up the line it'll work, but it does work. So the aloe isn't always just good for burns. It's good for all kinds of stuff. And I have a friend who actually keeps aloe in the back of his john, and he uses it as a shaving cream. And I can't quite put that slime on my face first thing in the morning. I don't have the consistency of spirit to do that or something. And he uses that as an aftershave, and it really does work.